It seems that Egghead will end soon, right? The Straw Hats are close to escaping, Vegapunk's speech is over or will soon be over, and that's it. But what if I told you that Egghead won't end so easily and it will probably have the most tragic ending in the whole anime? We are in the final saga, and in this arc we saw how dangerous the new world actually is. Kid and Law's crews got destroyed, the Gorosei's unexplainable powers were revealed, and so on. I am convinced that the most dangerous and dramatic art will have a disturbing ending, and as always, it will be Blackbeard's fault. Back in chapter 1079, we saw one of Blackbeard's ships approaching Egghead Island. Later, we saw Van Augur and Katarina Devon. Katarina touched Saturn and got the opportunity to transform her appearance into Saturn's whenever she wants. Later, we saw Caribou begging for them to take him to Blackbeard. We don't know if they ever left Egghead Island. Van Augur can teleport so he can be anywhere. At least we know that the Marines and other strong characters have not noticed any strange activity. Are Katarina Devon and Van Augur the only Blackbeard pirates that arrived at Egghead? Teach, Burgess, Van Augur, Dog-Q, and Stronger fought Trafalgar Law. Avalo Pizarro, Shiryu, Sandron Wolf, Vasco Shot, and Kuzan fought Garp. The only Blackbeard pirate we haven't seen yet is Lafitte. Did he go solo again, like he did when he was introduced for the first time? It's possible, but I don't think so. Right now, Egghead has the best resources to offer. Devil fruits of the strongest characters, Green Blood, O'Hara Intel, Ancient Kingdom Tech, Zombie, Vegapunk, and so on. Lafitte would be most useful in a place like this, but what is Blackbeard's main motive? What's his plan for Egghead? Before we talk about that, let's talk about Lafitte and why I'm sure he is on Egghead. I believe you have seen people talking about Lafitte being Lucci's pet, Hattori. It always seemed possible to me, but after diving deeper and reading every chapter with Hattori in it, I am now sure that this bird is not just a pet. Oda gave us hints even at Egghead and during the first appearance of Lucci and Hattori. Don't you find it odd that Hattori was introduced before Lucci? Notice how all Lucci's panels are just as if he cannot speak for himself. Look at how Hattori's text bubbles are overlapped. Two lines are drawn each time Hattori speaks. Have we ever seen Oda draw double-lined text bubbles like this before? Yes. In chapter 1083, we see Karasu with an awakening suit fruit having those same double-line text bubbles. Not only that, his sentient suit crows also have it. Karasu can talk through his suit crows and split his sentient body parts away from a much wider communication and attack range. Both Karasu and Hattori mumble words before they use an attack. As seen in chapter 904, you see the words mumble mumble before Karasu snaps and goes into a rage. Hattori does the same, but as a pigeon. Hattori is, presuming he was the same bird accompanying Lucci's childhood training, at least 24 years old, an age virtually unheard of for any real-life pigeon or species. Yes, we are talking about an anime, but even in One Piece, among many pets, Hattori is the only one who can actually speak. The best panel to confirm this theory lies in chapter 327. Luffy and Usopp realize Hattori is verbally talking and has a very strong aura. Luffy literally states to Polly, "Hey Goggle Guy, think about it. The one who has been ordering you around and talking smack is the pigeon. That's because the pigeon can't hit you, so it made the guy hit you." Nami then realizes and claims Hattori is talking like a person again once he landed on Rob Lucci's shoulder. In the anime episode, he almost slipped up and said, "I'm Rob Lucci," which would have given it away. Oda tried to skip past the awkward tension with, "Oh, he's just a ventriloquist" comedy. Lafitte is most likely an awakened Zoan and uses hypnosis, which makes him a tricky enemy. This would explain a lot of things. First of all, we already know that Lafitte has wings, so he must have some kind of bird Zoan. Try to think of a bird you could see anytime, anywhere. A bird so common you wouldn't even notice it. The pigeon is the first that comes to mind. While the rest of the Blackbeard crew was at Jaya, he casually infiltrated Marijua in front of Don Flamingo, Tsuru, Sengoku, and Mihawk, only being noticed when he chose to. Lafitte must be strong, but just think about it. He appeared at the top of the red line. None of the guards saw him, and he flew directly to the meeting room where even strong characters like Mihawk, Sengoku, and Don Flamingo did not notice him. This might be one of the greatest feats of the whole anime, but if he is actually Hattori, then he must have already been at Marijois and known the rooms. Now, for me, this sounds way more logical than the first option. I can't even name a pirate who could have done that without any help. We also know that Laffitte is the navigator of the Blackbeard crew, though wherever you look, he was never seen carrying a log pose with him. That's where I think the pigeon theory is the most credible. Pigeons have a special talent that allows them to feel the magnetic poles of the earth with their beaks using the magnetite they contain. He could be able to navigate without a log pose or go on solo missions like in Marijois. At Egghead, Hattori accompanied Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy. When Stussy defeated Lucci, Hattori squawked angrily at her, watched his master fall unconscious, and flew away. As I said, Hattori is the only pet that can speak in One Piece. Also, all other pets are loyal. Chuchu, Karu, Holy, Farul, Pierre, just to name a few. Hattori seemed like he did not even care about Lucci, and it was not the first time. After that moment, a lot happened at Egghead. Kizaru and the Gorosei arrived, Vegapunk died, Kuma and the Ancient Giant appeared, and so on. But Hattori flew back to Lucci after he had been gravely wounded by Roronoa Zoro after 38 chapters in chapter 1111. Where was he all this time? For me, it's very suspicious and nearly confirms the theory that Hattori is, in fact, Lafitte. Lafitte would be able to use this power to gain access to almost anywhere on the island. With the combination of Lafitte, Van Augur, and Katarina Devon's powers, it's nearly impossible to tell if anyone is truly who they seem to be. Anything can happen. We saw that Katarina Devon touched Saturn's leg to get his appearance, but she also mentioned that she did not expect one of the Gorosei to come down to the surface. Also, Van Augur and Katarina Devon appeared at Egghead way before Saturn, so there is no way that their main goal was to get the face of one of the Gorosei. They went to Egghead for other reasons, clearly. Let's start with possible options. It may connect to the fact that Blackbeard witnessed the Seraphim, which he recognized as pacifistas with Lunarian traits. It's worth remembering that Oda revealed the hobbies of the worst generation in SBS Volume 82, and Blackbeard's hobbies were listed as gambling and studying history. This is most likely how he already knew about the Lunarians, and it gives us a potential hint towards his motives. The most apparent motive for Blackbeard to get involved at Egghead would be for devil fruits, but it is also true that Blackbeard would be greatly interested in prizes such as the intel from O'Hara. Egghead Island is an absolute gold mine of potential treasures. If Blackbeard has manipulated Moria into obeying him, then the potential threat they pose at Egghead becomes even scarier. Using Moria's power, they would even be able to revive and control Vegapunk's dead clones or Vegapunk himself. If the Blackbeard pirates are there just to steal something, there are a lot of options. The formula behind the Seraphim, which will make Blackbeard unstoppable, as his only weakness is his defense for now. They can also steal other inventions, the Mother Flame or Yorick herself. Maybe they will go as far as stealing Kizaru, Lucci, or the Gorosei's devil fruits. I believe that this is exactly what's happening behind the scenes during the current events, and just when things are looking good, the Blackbeard pirates will show themselves. Since chapter 1080, we've learned that part of Blackbeard's current scheme is to create his own official country. To this end, he tried to use Kobe as a bargaining chip, and this is likely also how he'll use Garp as leverage. However, if we go back to chapter 957, we realize that the world government has actually been looking for an excuse to get rid of Garp. Blackbeard is likely to get shocked when they refuse his bargain. This will inspire him to take the most audacious gamble that we've ever seen. Just as he did at Marineford, Blackbeard might take advantage of the situation and use it to take all of the reward for himself. I won't be surprised if Blackbeard appears at Egghead. In the last chapter, we saw that he is not back at Hachinosu yet, and the island where he fought Law is really close to Egghead. Blackbeard may even stand against the Gorosei and capture them as hostages. Now, the Marines won't be so quick to refuse his demands. With Lafitte, Devon, and Van Augur clearing the way for him, Blackbeard can quickly travel to Egghead Island and steal all the prizes. For example, Kizaru may not do much for them, but his devil fruit sure will. Even light cannot escape a black hole. Maybe this is why Oda has started to humanize Kizaru and make him a more sympathetic character. He's preparing to give him a tragic death. I believe that this is Blackbeard's role in the Egghead incident. He will take a gamble and use it to capture the Gorosei and kill Kizaru. On top of this, he will also gain several major assets: the devil fruits, the green blood, O'Hara intel, ancient kingdom tech, and possibly a zombie Vegapunk. It may sound too OP, but we are talking about Blackbeard. He's already too overpowered, and he's going to be the final villain, so expect the worst. If you want to learn more about the final fight between Luffy and Blackbeard, you can watch this video right here. Thanks for watching.